But Mark, let's close out the podcast doing what we do every single week here during the football season. We make our picks for the upcoming week. Week number 1, not the best week for you, Mark. And I say that because I went 10-5-1 in my picks. The Chargers, Saints, Texans, Colts, and Falcons all let me down. Where you went 6-9-1. So I've got a 4-win cushion on you.
Yep.
Also, another thing that I forgot to start last week is we're going to do an Eliminator kind of a thing. You guys can play along at home by commenting your Eliminator pick each week. This one's not going to be that fun because I'm going to spoil it. Mark and I have the same team. Not going to tell you what team, but we have the same team this week. Last week, I just said we'll both pick the Browns because I don't think we were going to pick the Browns at all this season.
I don't know. Do they play the Bills?
Bold. I don't think so. Maybe they do. They do.
Then I would have picked the Browns.
But basically, I picked the Browns because it didn't matter. So the Browns were our Eliminator pick last week. And
last year. That's why we lost week 1.
And last year we lost week 1. But starting off the Thursday night game, we've got the Ravens who played the Bills last week, Bengals who got a win over the Colts. Baltimore's only a 1-point favorite as of Tuesday night as we're recording this podcast. What do you think about for this one, Thursday Night Football, Baltimore-Cincy?
This is an interesting one. The Baltimore Ravens defense is an impressive defense. Cincinnati's defense is better than some people want to give credit to. Really what impressed me the most about Cincinnati shouldn't be that surprising, but it was Joe Mixon. I thought he would be good, but he definitely impressed. And, this home game for Cincinnati, I'm actually almost arguing myself against what I currently have as my pick right now. I'll go for it. Why not? I'm going to switch. I'm going to switch to the Bengals.
All right.
I'm going to go with the Bengals.
Are you only doing that because most of us, we have most of the same picks?
I'm going to be honest. It kind of upsets me that you mentioned the record because I sometimes just intentionally pick the opposite team as you.
But now you're down 4. You feel like you got to switch it up.
Yeah, now I have to because of the Bengals. But no, actually, honestly, Joe Mixon was doing such a good job, and I know that Baltimore defense is really good, but the home game, I think, might hopefully negate that a little bit. Joe Mixon seems like he's the real deal. Andy Dalton and A.J. Green are trying to get back to form. I'm going to go with the Bengals.
And the Bengals, the only team from last week to have our helmet rule come into effect.
There you go.
They had their safety. I think it was Williams got ejected from the game.
Despite the fact that the Bengals kind of were lucky to beat Andrew Luck a little bit, but whatever.
I'm going to be on the other side. The Ravens look good week 1. I'm going to play was it the Bills or was it the Ravens of why the score was it was, but I am going to go with Baltimore Thursday night. Then the Sunday games, the first one we'll start with the Panthers. They will play the Atlanta Falcons.
Yep.
And this is one the Panthers got a really good first win over the Cowboys. Falcons didn't look so good against the Eagles, but I'm expecting the Falcons to pick it up week 2. They won't throw the ball as much to Julio Jones. Please throw it to Calvin Ridley at least a couple times. I'm going to go with the Falcons to right the ship in hot Atlanta. What about you?
I feel it's kind of an easy pick towards the Falcons. I mean, yes, you want to say a good win. I also say that the Cowboys looked pretty awful.
They did.
Out there.
They looked like diddly poo to quote Jim Morris Sr.
And there was quite a few injury scares for the Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton needs somebody to throw the ball to. There's too many things that make me nervous about the Panthers. I got to go with the Falcons.
And then the next one, this one's probably an easy one to pick, so I'm just going to say it. Chargers are going to beat the Bills.
Chargers. Go Chargers, go.
Chargers, I feel like the Chargers only being a 7.5-point favorite is a slap in the face.
I agree.
To the Chargers over the Bills, who Nathan Peterman is not a starting quarterback. #start Allen.
I mean, there's no way they're going to start him again, right? Like, they can't.
I hope they don't. If they do, they're just the worst franchise in football.
If you put Peterman out there again, that's essentially the entire organization saying,
we don't believe in our rookie.
No, they're saying, we really think unemployment sounds kind of nice right now. Because everybody who watched this guy play knows he should not be a starter.
It's like you said, we have eyes.
Yeah, we've all seen it. You don't have to be a coach or a GM to know that guy is not a starter.
Okay. The next game, Vikings at Lambeau.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers questionable for this one. Packers are only a 1-point favorite. You know me. I'm not like you. You usually pick the Bears.
If the Bears play, I want to pick them.
Because you're picking them. I'm a realist. If I think the Vikings are going to lose, I will pick against us. But in this one, what that defense showed in week 1 against Jimmy G, the hype machine, no Aaron Rodgers, not a chance they get the win. Skull all the way, Vikings win in Lambeau.
Jimmy G is to you what Aaron Rodgers is to Collinsworth. That's your boy. I would love Minnesota to walk in there and just beat Green Bay. I would love to see it after what just happened to the Bears. Aaron Rodgers said he's going to play, but I'm pretty sure he was on drugs when he said it. So
it was my knee, man.
Yeah. I got to go with the Vikings on this one, too.
And then the next one, we've got Texans and the Titans. Titans coming off a loss.
Another injured quarterback.
Texans coming off of a loss. We'll see if Will Fuller plays. He's on the What's Your Fantasy, the MVP team for Brandon and I, so we'll see if he finally plays this week. What are you thinking about Texans and Titans?
I want to know if Mariota's going to play is what I'm interested in that.
Well, we know Delaney Walker's now.
Yeah, exactly. There's too many injuries for the Titans already. And I already said it where Deshaun Watson did fine, but he didn't do as well as people expected him to come back for. Understandably, I mean, the guy got hurt. He needs to shake off the rust a little bit. I expect this is a time where he comes back in. And unfortunately for me, the Tennessee Titans, I was thinking they could be a playoff team, and with these injuries now, I think that's just done.
Yeah,
Week 1, that's over already.
I'm going with the Texans in this one. The one thing I will say that rubbed me the wrong way from that Titans game week 1 is it was a red zone opportunity. I don't think it was a goal line, but it was red zone opportunity. Mike Vrabel trying to roll the dice as a first-year head coach, went for it on 4th down. Didn't get the touchdown. I was like, what are you doing? Take the points, especially in the first or second quarter of that game. I'm going Texans.
That's one of those things where if it worked, people say he's a genius. If it didn't, he's an idiot.
You take the points that early. I don't care who you are. Then the next game, you've got the Browns, who are 0-1. You got the Saints, who are surprisingly 0-1.
Who are extremely mad right now.
There might be, and that's exactly why I'm picking the Saints in this one, because they are going to get pissed off, and the Browns are just going to get rolled. And I know the Browns are better than last year, but expect to be 0-1.
Yeah, it's going to look great. It's pretty much that simple. The Saints are mad. They want to win a game. They're going to win a game.
Then the next one, the Dolphins didn't look that great in their win against the Titans, but got the win in a over 7-hour game because of delays. Sam Darnold, Jets, looked great, and apparently the Jets knew exactly what the signals were for Matt Stafford and the Lions. What are you thinking, Dolphins and the Jets in East Rutherford, New Jersey?
Man, that Jets defense made Matt Stafford look terrible. What was it, 4 interceptions?
Yep.
Looked awful. And as a Bears fan, I'm like, hey, we're not the worst team in the NFC North. Go us.
Which was great because Austin had him in fantasy, and Brandon and I won because of that.
Perfect. The Jets, I picked against the Jets, obviously, and I've always been a person who says that their defense is better than people expected, but I don't think I even was expecting that performance out of that defense.
Yeah, you had someone on Twitter coming after you a little bit.
Jets fans mad. Not mad about my comment about defense, apparently mad about my comments about Sam Darnold.
Yeah, don't talk bad about Darnold after Trash Bisky called him.
I honestly, and I'm not saying this just to say, I honestly don't know what I said badly about Sam Darnold. I said that I think I said that he was going to be a rookie, ups and downs.
I think it was more so that you thought the Jets weren't going to win many games.
Yeah, and I still don't really think they're going to win that many games, but I will up it after that defensive performance. But I think that a pick 6 and then bouncing back and doing well is exactly what a rookie season is, ups and downs. But I'm not going to pick Miami. It's not going to happen. Jets win it at home.
Yeah, for me, I'm going with the Jets as well. This was one I liked the Dolphins heading into it, and then the Jets played, and I was like, oh, I can't pick against Sam Darnold. And the Jets going with Jets, Jets in this one. Then the next one, Steelers 0-1. They are going to host the Chiefs, who are 1-0. Heinz Field is the site. I'm going to go bold. I'm going with the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes starts out his KC career 2-0, and the Steelers winless without Le'Veon.
I don't think that's that bold.
But the Steelers winless without Le'Veon. That's the thing. No one expects them to be winless without Le'Veon after 2.
I mean, they're playing. I mean, the first game, sure, of course, with the Browns, yeah. But the Chiefs, I think plenty of people expect them to lose to the Chiefs.
Hey, Pittsburgh's a 5-point favorite right now, so technically Pittsburgh's favored.
Yeah, but like I said, plenty of people are expecting them to lose to the Chiefs still. We talked plenty about my opinions earlier in this podcast about how I don't think Le'Veon Bell makes a difference. Connor already proved that. He's going to do fine. They need Big Ben to step up, and I think Big Ben will step up. Andy Reid's offense is an Andy Reid offense at the moment. No running game, all passing attack. And
unless it's, here you go, Reek.
Yeah.
Take it all the way.
Yeah, and these shuffle passes, I guess, count as a running game. And I do think the Chiefs have a very good chance of winning this game, but I expect Big Ben to say, all right, guys, I remember that this Mason Rudolph kid is out there, and hopefully it doesn't get in his head too much. It motivates him to perform the way Big Ben's supposed to, and I'll take the Steelers.
Question for you. The over-under is 52.5 points. You taking the over or the under?
I'm going to take the under on that.
Really?
Yep.
I might be bold enough to take the over just because of what the Chiefs... Like, if the Steelers get 35... That would mean, like, if it's a 38-35 game, you're already over. And I think it could easily be 30s.
I think that I wouldn't be surprised to see the Chiefs kind of come back down to earth a little bit on this one. I mean, it's a good defense that the Steelers have.
Next one, NFC battle, the Eagles, Super Bowl champs. They are 1-0, going up against the 1-0 Buccaneers in Raymond James Stadium. What are you thinking, Mark? Eagles or Bucks?
Well, the Carson Wentz watch needs to happen. I mean, when is he going to be here?
We didn't talk about the Eagles. We didn't get our Carson Wentz watch.
Right. They were saying that Carson Wentz would maybe be ready for week 1. It didn't happen. So if he was going to maybe be ready for week 1, I'm hoping he'll be ready for week 2. We'll see what happens. I mean, the Bucks with Fitzpatrick showed that they can get it done.
Important tweet from Adam Schefter as we're reporting this.
Yeah.
Like, as we're making this pick, Vernon Hargraves has a potential season-ending shoulder injury, so he could be out for the year for the Buccaneers.
And that's a big deal. I'm going to go with the Eagles, though, with Wentz or Foles. Obviously, I feel a lot better about it if it's Wentz playing out there. I don't expect Fitzmagic to do it again because that's not how he plays. He's pretty inconsistent for most of his career. So I'm going to go with that history, and I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Mark, I'm going to believe in magic even if it's Fitzmagic. I am going bold. I am going to go Buccaneers 2-0 to start the year. The Eagles did not look that hot against the Falcons. Had a little Super Bowl rust, I'm going to say, without the Philly special or the Philly special, whatever you want to call it, without a trick play. They lose that game, and they're going to go ahead and lose to the Buccaneers, basically, are going to win that game. Mark, for you have to call the next game or list it because my computer died, so I got to pull some stuff up.
All right, so the next, well, that's all right. The next game we have is a Colts going to Washington to play the Redskins, and this is a very interesting one as I see it because Andrew Luck did very well, but just not good enough to squeak by the Bengals. You know, he didn't look that rusty going out there, and then you got Alex Smith, who looked pretty good. I was pleasantly surprised with Alex Smith out there and pleasantly surprised with the Redskins with him. But with that being said, I really want to see that first win for Andrew Luck. I really want to see him get back out there and say, hey, I know there's nobody else on this team but me, but I am back and I'm ready to win some games.
Yeah, for me, I'm on the other side of this one. I was really impressed with what I saw from the Redskins. Alex Smith looks good. Adrian Peterson looked good for once.
He got to play. He's like the third running back, but he got to play.
Thompson looked good if he could stay healthy. Jordan Reed's going to get a ton of passes if he can stay healthy for this Redskin team. I'm going to go with them. The Colts, to me, they probably should have beat the Bengals, but to be honest, because they lost, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to pick the Redskins. Next game, I'll go first. Cardinals at Rams. This one's easy.
Rams.
Cardinals didn't even look that good. Going with the Rams. Like
I wanted to get in there before you said it.
You're
because that's how easy it was.
Mainly because I said that I'm going to go first.
Yeah.
Is that it? Well, the next one, I'll let you go first. Niners-Lions. Who you got?
49ers. I mean, Matthew Stafford just threw 4 interceptions. I got to go with the 49ers.
And here's the thing I got to say. The thing I got upset with watching First Take today is they showed Stafford, Jimmy G, and Derek Carr. And they're like, these guys got paid. They don't have a playoff win. They all lost week 1. Why are you overpaying these guys? And I'm like, can we put an asterisk next to Jimmy G? Like, he did go up against arguably the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
Arguably the best defense, and he almost came back and beat us. So it's like,
because the Vikings didn't play that well in that game.
no, they could have played
was a
lot
winnable
better.
game.
I mean, there was that pick 6 that helped us too.
Yeah.
But like, it wasn't a flawless victory for the Vikings, and that Niner defense can do some work. And Matthew Stafford didn't have a good week 1, so I'm going to go ahead.
Yeah,
and
the
I am gonna
whole
go
Lions
pick the 49ers.
team had a really bad one, and I know this is a week 1 overreaction, but I'm sitting there watching the game, watching Matt Patricia, and being like, remember when everyone was so excited about Matt Patricia?
And now everyone's like, oh, man, those coordinators after they leave the Bill Belichick system are not good head coaches.
But that's what I mean, me and a lot of other people were saying that before he got hired, too, of like...
I mean, Josh McDaniels had to deal with TiVo time, so he gets an asterisk.
A little bit. But, so many people were saying that. Just remember, when people leave Bill Belichick, they don't do well. But you can't completely go off of history. I don't blame the Lions for giving it a shot because he could have been the exception. Who knows? But
I mean,
no.
he's not Romeo Crennel and didn't go to the Browns, so I guess that's a little bit of a better
Well, he
thing.
went to the other team that went 0-16.
The other
so.
team that went 0-16. How about the Raiders and Broncos? To me, this is an easy one. John Gruden not going to win many games. The thing about John Gruden that made me laugh is after the game he said, well, we didn't have a pass rush. I wonder why, John. Broncos.
Right? And he came out as well and said that, it's obvious that Khalil Mack didn't want to play in Oakland.
Surprised he knew his name.
And it's just like, to me, he is that spurned ex that's any chance he gets is going to talk trash. Yet he's the one that ended the relationship. He did all the, we're going to get rid of him. We want to trade him. But he still wants to talk bad about him. And to me, it's a little bit of insecurity about his own team. He's not comfortable in what's going on with his team, so he's got to talk trash.
And the one thing I will
I'm going
say...
with the Broncos, obviously.
Yeah, I'm picking the Broncos too. The one thing I will say about the Raiders, though, is someone I was listening to today brought up John Gruden has been an analyst for a couple years, and he's seen the NFL, and like guys like Bill Belichick who have had success with, I'm not going to overpay a player. I'm going to go ahead and get guys that fit the system and have system football, but really overpay for that quarterback and solidify that quarterback. We'll see if it ends up being good for him in 2-3 years. But right now, it's not going to be good for the Raiders. They lose to the Broncos in my mind. Then the next game, we've got the Patriots and the Jaguars. I'm going to go against what I probably did in my hold us to them predictions.
Probably.
Patriots looked really good in week 1. Jaguars could be without Leonard Fournette. Going with the Pats.
I'm going to do the exact same thing. I picked the Patriots and the hold us to them, but that's why I love that name because it doesn't matter. We change them anyways.
Well, now week 1 happened, so crumple them up, they're out the window.
That's the best thing about predictions is you always got new information and they always change. But I'm going to actually go with the Jaguars on this one. Gotta love that defense. They held up very well against the New York Giants. I think they'll hold up pretty well against the Patriots. Hogan didn't really do anything, which upset a lot of fantasy owners. Now, to be fair, he didn't do anything week 1 last year, and then he's suddenly exploded in week 2. But I think that the Jaguars can hold the Patriots. They did a good job of it last year as well. I think they'll be able to do it now. The one thing I love, I saw a quote from Tom Brady. I don't know if it was a new quote or an old quote, but it popped up in the world, and it was something along the lines of talking about Aaron Rodgers and how if he had our scheme offensively and this was my favorite part, all of our defensive knowledge of the other teams. And I read that and I was like,
Spygate.
I'm like, where are you getting all this defensive knowledge of these other teams, Tom? Something sounds
#Spygate.
I'm like, for a team that has still Spygate held over their heads, I don't think you want to talk about all the knowledge you have about other teams. It just doesn't look right. Anyways, Tom Brady, GOAT and all that, but the Jaguars are a really great team. Picking the Jaguars.
And then we've got the last two, the primetime games, the Sunday night game, the Giants, the Cowboys playing an NFC matchup. I don't like what the Cowboys look like. They look like a team that's playing that would have been good in like 2007. It's like Brandon and I were talking off the podcast yesterday, and I'm like, oh yeah, Cole Beasley, their number one receiver. And Brandon goes, no, Allen Hurns is their number one receiver. I was like, oh, really? Because Allen Hurns had 3 targets, 1 catch. Cole Beasley had 7 catches, 8 targets. So, I mean, who's really the number one? I'm going with the Giants.
I picked up Allen Hurns like at the very end of a fantasy league just because I was like, our fantasy league. And I was like, someone's got to catch the ball, right?
And it's Cole Beasley.
Apparently it's Cole Beasley. So, if my waiver wire goes through, Allen Hurns will no longer be on my team as of tomorrow. I'm going to go with the Giants as well. Yeah, I mean, it just did not look good for the Cowboys. I need to see more out of them before I'm going to ever feel comfortable. That I had them, I think, at one point in our original hold us to them. I had them as a playoff team. They missed the playoffs in the next one, and I'm fortunate. I'm very glad that I had them miss the playoffs in the second one.
And the last one, another primetime game for Da Bears. They are coming home to play the Seattle Seahawks. I know who you're going to pick, but tell us why you're picking the Bears.
The Bears better win this damn game because I stayed up until, 11:30 or something like that for that first game and that heartbreaking loss, and then I couldn't go to sleep because I was just mad.
You were just angry.
And I'm just thinking about it, and I'm like, what went wrong in this game? What are all the things? Man. And I'm thinking of it in my head.
What went wrong?
And
everything.
If they have another night game, another Monday night game here. Last one was Sunday night. This one's Monday, so I got to stay up late again and have to go to work the next day. When you gotta. I go to work like 2 hours earlier than I used to nowadays, and these night games are not fun for that.
No.
But I'm going to stay and I'm going to watch my Bears. They better win it. But here's the thing. It's a home game. That's going to help. Matt Nagy already figured out I got a little too cutesy with my play calling. I got to tone it in a little bit and be a little more normal. That's going to help. The other thing, my favorite thing about this, Khalil Mack, you said it earlier in the podcast, he's mad at the moment. He doesn't like what just happened. Roquan Smith is going to get more playing time as well.
Defensive Player of the Year.
You know
Khalil
who's
Mack,
got a terrible offensive line?
The Seahawks.
The Seattle Seahawks. Yeah.
Russell Wilson going to run for his life.
So, Khalil Mack already almost destroyed one quarterback. And I actually don't remember if it was him that made the tackle or not. But and there was like 3 people involved with it. But there's a good chance it might happen to another quarterback with Russell Wilson. This isn't a Saints thing. No bounty gate. I'm just saying they can't protect this quarterback.
Here's a question for you, and this is like a prop question.
Sure.
Does Brandon Marshall have a big game in his return to Chicago?
Probably because the defensive backs aren't that good.
I mean, especially if Kyle Fuller's on him, right?
Yeah, he'll go right past him.
He'll drop an interception too.
Yeah.
Or 2.
Yeah.
Or 3 or 4. Or 6 of them.
We'll drop them all. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If Russell Wilson can extend plays and give his guys time, he can beat the defensive backs. But if that pass rush can actually get to him, game over.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bears as well. I'm really not high on the Seahawks in this one. If it was in Seattle, I'm going Seahawks, but it's in Chicago. Bears looked good in that first half. Can they then complete it? And I wonder if it was a Packer thing. Like Aaron Rodgers was phenomenal
How
later
many quarterbacks can come out, and I hate to say it, but how many quarterbacks can come out injured with the little thing holding their knee together and put up that many points without being able to put pressure on that knee?
The greats.
There's like 3 of them in the NFL that can
exactly.
do it.
And this is all of sports.
Yeah.
The only time we have seen stuff like that happens is when it's legend players. Like players that are going to go down and like when they retire and then Madden comes out like X amount of years later and they're on the legend team.
First ballot Hall of Famers.
Exactly. Those type of players are the ones that can go ahead and do that. I'm going to go with the Bears. And then last but not least, we, like I said, didn't start it last week. We're starting it this week.
Yeah.
This week isn't going to be fun. I'm just going to let you do it for both. Who's our Eliminator picks who got the same team?
The Chargers.
Are you really just going to pick who plays the Bills until you lose?
Probably.
All right.
I mean, eventually I have to pick somebody else because of the divisional games.
Bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
And I might not do it when they play like the Dolphins, then I might have to go in some other direction.
That game could bite you in the rear end.
Yeah, so I got to be a little bit smart. But when there are actually good teams playing, and that's the thing too with the Chargers, I have faith in the Chargers, but they're also one of those teams. Same thing with the Ravens, who in a different eliminator thing, I picked them against the Browns. Against the Bills. Those are teams where it's like, yes, I could enjoy picking them later, but they're not that team when everything's tough, and I go, I'll just go with the Patriots because it's a sure thing. So
this is where you guys come in. Let us know what you think down below in that comment section. What are your picks? What games are you excited for this week? And who's your eliminator pick for this week? You can join with us each and every week down below in that comment section. Little housekeeping here at the end. Make sure to check out patreon.com/most valuable podcast if you want to help support the channel. $10 tier. You can come on a podcast each and every month. You're at that tier. You can also get yourself a sick MVP t-shirt. That link down below in the description, and also at mostvaluablepodcast.com where you can catch MVP each and every day. And then last but not least, please make sure to go over to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. Give us a review of why you like listening to the podcast each and every week, even if you're on YouTube. James, I'm looking at you. Please give us that review on iTunes. For Mark, myself, we're going to have a fun time watching week 2. Thank you guys for watching on YouTube. Thank you guys for listening on podcast services around the world. And as always, have a good day, everybody.